Welcome everyone to another video of mine. In this video I want to talk about what they call the missing white woman syndrome or the missing pretty girl syndrome. Oh, I forgot this Dutch Wikipedia page. Let me... Okay, here you have a more extended article of it. It comes down to the following, that when people go missing, often it's white-skinned, blonde-haired women, or sometimes in general white, fragile females that receive media attention. And it works. One obvious example is of Natalie Holloway, but there are more cases like this, and it goes all the way back to the late 19th century when mass media was birthed in a, as you can say it. Of course, media today is more advanced. By the way, I don't recommend people just read things on Wikipedia and think it's true. I recommend people do their own research also. And as you can see, there are many instances where the missing white women syndrome is at work. It's not only in the Natalie Holloway case. Now, what is behind it? Because if you think that it's just coincidence, then you're wrong. You're very wrong. Okay, you can see here, Madeleine McCann, I believe I saw that one. I'm not really sure if this girl was blonde or... Oh yeah, she's blonde. Or brunette. Okay, anyway, let me continue. There are scholarly articles about it. For example, this one over here. Well, I'm an alumnus of a university. I did anthropology. So as a grad student, I still have access to the catalog of the university, so I can still look for articles. I'm not going to view articles over here due to copyrights. But okay. You can go to Google Scholar also. No, I will talk about the Barbie later on. Okay, when you go to Google Scholar, let me see where I have that one over here. Yeah, Google Scholar, you can type in, and then you can find articles that are for free, because most scholarly or scientific articles you need to pay for them. But what's this whole thing about this missing white woman syndrome? It has to do with worship. So let's go to the Barbie story. Barbie has become an icon in the Western world and also outside of it. It's a doll of a white woman. Okay, hold on. I'm making this video spontaneously, so I didn't prepare anything like that. Okay, let me go over here. Barbie is this petite, figured woman, blonde-haired, blue eyes, and it has become quite popular. But where does it come from? Here you have a Disney version, I believe, of it over here, which should try to make it a bit more realistic. Well, it didn't quite work out. But what's the whole history behind this Barbie here? By the way, there are more researchers out there about the Barbie that you can look at. I'm just going through it very quickly here. It not really began, but it came from Germany, because in Germany you had the Bild Lily. Well, this name Bild Lily was when an American came along and it became popular, but you had these Lilith images, these Lilith dolls that were sold to pagan families for their girls. And where does Lily is a shortening of Lilith, and Lilith is a demon. I'm not going to give this entity too much attention. It already receives a lot of attention in movies and in Hollywood and all of that, so that you understand that this Barbie image is derived from a demon. Alright? And here you can even see that it looks a bit scary, a bit possessed. Okay? Even the expression on the doll is an expression of a possessed individual. And the whole Barbie image of this blonde goddess is derived from Apollo, which is the sun god, also called Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun in Latin. Here you can see that the Statue of Liberty in New York is Apollo in drag. Okay? So this is not Miss Liberty, this is the image of this demon over here. That shows a lot about the so-called founding fathers of the United States. Okay. Oh, forgive me what I just said about the founding fathers. Okay, the founding fathers of the United States were involved in the occult, absolutely. But also the leaders that came afterwards. And here you can see clearly Alexander the Great, who founded the Greek Empire, the god Helios, and the god Apollo. They are the same entity. So Barbie here is derived from Apollo. Okay? And of course, they use the Lilith demon to put this product on the market. So if you're fond of Barbie, you're really fond of this entity over here. Because this entity often went in drag. Because there's a drag queen over here. If you didn't knew it yet. So that's why those pagans who run the media, the mass media, I'm not talking about the journalists, the common journalists, or someone that works at CNN or at BBC. There are people just doing their job who don't know any better. However, those that run the mainstream media, they worship the beast. Who is the beast? This guy over here. And the abbreviation of Helios is an X. And X is also a 6 in Pythagorean numerology, so XXX is 666. So this is the beast they're worshipping. And this is just a drag version, a female version of Apollo. That's why in the media they have to worship this entity, because that's where they get the paranormal charm from. So I'm just telling you what's behind it, okay? People who do scholarly research, they notice what's going on. They notice patterns in the media and in literature, but they often don't know the occult history and the occult that's behind it. So I'm just revealing it onto you. As you can see, over time, they also made male to have a male and female, because at the time people were quite conservative still. But over time it became more so-called fashionable, more sexy looking. And this has become the idol they use to make young women, especially women of a European ethnicity, to make them feel dissatisfied about their bodies. And by the way, this figure over here, this is not really a feminine figure also. This doll, I mean, this is not really a feminine figure, but I'm not going to discuss that right now. So even the figure they give you is a fake one to cause you to remain in the negative. And that's why in the media they portray missing cases of white, blonde, haired, and blue-eyed females so much. Now, if a woman that is light-skinned, I mean she's white-skinned, she is blonde, and she has blue eyes, if she is missing, people should go after it. I'm sorry, I'm making this video spontaneously. It's the end of the day, so forgive me if I'm not that fluent in my speech, but I still wanted to make this video to inform you. This guy over here is H.H. Holmes. I forgot his full name, but this doesn't matter. This guy, he was a killer. Around the World Fair in Chicago in the end of the 19th century, he used to kill people, often prostitutes. But what was his nickname? His nickname was Alexander. And look at that. The Beast, also named Alexander the Great. So now you have an Apollonist over here who worships the beast, who makes sacrifices to the beast. So he nicknamed himself Alexander. Well, if you don't know the occult history and you hear that this guy had a nickname, Alexander, you may think, why would he call himself Alexander? Where does he got it from? Well, now you know. And another thing, during this time, before this guy became active, you had the Ripper Street killings in London of what they call Jack the Ripper. And when that kind of faded away, killings began in New York and also in Chicago. So a lot of people began to think that this guy was the Jack the Ripper. Some others say Jack the Ripper was a Polish guy that went to London. I'm not going into the background of Jack the Ripper right now. Just know that you have men out there who hate women and they worship the beast. That means they also worship Satan with the dragon, because Satan is above the beast. And in order to worship Satan and the beast, they make blood sacrifices. They kill people. I believe here you have a Hollywood actor. I believe it's Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't watch Hollywood movies that much. He plays this guy over here. Now look. So what's going on now? You have those pagans out there who worship the beast, and they will perform human sacrifices. They will, from time to time, in a ritualistic manner, because it all has to be a ritual, they will kidnap women that reflect this idol over here. And when they ritually kill them, they make sure that people in the media will notice it. And you have pagans in the media in leading positions that will pick up the sacrifice who are aware of the sacrifice, and they will make sure it's being broadcasted. That's why you have many other people to go missing. This of the Netherlands, missing people over here. That's why you have a lot of people, other people are missing also, a lot of men also, but they often don't even receive any notification in the media, nor in a newspaper. Why? Because those that run the mass media, they worship the beast, and they will always promote their rituals. By the way, many of those missing people out there are also sacrifices. But because they don't reflect this entity over here, they don't get much coverage. I'm not saying that it can't happen, that a woman that's white-skinned, blue-eyed, and with blonde hair goes missing, and it's just an incident. Such things happen. But when it receives a lot of media attention 24/7, then you know that the shadow government, or say the underworld, the Apollonists, have something to do with it. This of the Netherlands again. There have been many there have been quite some homicides and also incidents in the Netherlands. But you can guess it. Often it's those women that reflect this entity in some way or some fashion that receive media coverage. And that makes you think. For example, there was a missing case. Here it's presented as a murder case over here. Oh no, these were just two teenage girls. This one's not blonde, by the way, but I believe these were also sacrifices. I say I believe, so I may be wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, the whole case doesn't matter. This one over here is missing, but here it's recorded as a murder case. I don't know what's going on here. It's also, I believe, yes, it's also pointed out. Weird case, believes a sacrifice also, and several days ago, let me go back, yet a case of a girl. She was buried, but she was killed near a palace in Utrecht, and she was dumped over here. And they have a guy who was a patient at a psychiatric clinic. They say he's the killer, but, well, I think this case is the Anna Faber case. It's also another ritual. At least that's what I think. I don't just think things just to think things. I mean, many things of that case, it just doesn't add up to me. And by the way, I know a fellow student which I used to study with in Utrecht, who was one of the best friends of this girl that was killed. So something really happened to that girl. It's not a hoax. But I didn't make a video about it back then because, well, the relatives and also friends were in grief. But in this video that I'm making now that the funeral has passed, I need to say I think it's a bloody ritual done by the Apollonists. Well, that's one thing you need to understand about those Apollonists. They will always promote their rituals. Whether those rituals are hoaxes or real sacrifices, they will always promote them. There are incidents that happen out there, people that go missing and end up dead. Those are incidents. But they won't spend much time on incidents. Why? Because those incidents are not rituals that refer to their god. Over here. So, why did I make this video? I want you to be alert of what's going on around you. So, don't be dragged in these spells that they put on you. Look, if a woman went missing, and it shouldn't even matter what skin color she is, she's missing and people should make effort to find her, okay? But what I see often is that they use the missing cases, which I say are often just sacrifices of these women that reflect this entity over here. They use it to put spells on the population, to keep people in the negative, to keep people collectively traumatized. Here you have a woman that went through plastic surgery to look like a Barbie. Well, at least that's the story. I don't really believe it, but there are people who are sick who are willing to do this crap. It doesn't even look human. Look at that, man. So now you know about this. Don't worship idols, worship Christ, and, well, I want to say be at peace, but you already know of me. I always say that in the end of my video. Why? Because I want you to be in peace. Shalom.